Message to my mate Frank Smith from Bury. Hope you're well, Frank. Happy 78th birthday. I hope Peter's looking after you out there in south of France on his big boat. Hey? So, you have a good time out there with Hughie and Peter and his family and that. And I'll see you when you get back, Frank, alright? Well done beating cancer, alright? Peace out, mate. Hello, you hardcores out there, how you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner. The biggest gob in sport. We say the things on here that nobody dare say. Isn't that right? That's why you're all tuning in. Because you know you lot with them laminates and you other YouTubers with access and media people as well. You daren't say boot, there, hey, cowards, off with their heads. Anyway, we've got more important things to talk about this morning. Oh yeah, it's helmets of the month. Oh yeah, helmets of the month, eh? For August, even though we're 5th of September. I'm carrying off like some waste man, aren't I here? Later than ever. Better late than never. Is it? I don't know. Anyway, here's the top 10 for August. Sit back and get your popcorn ready. In at number 10, it's Dillian Whyte, the can man, or should I say can't man. Anybody who wants it, can't get it. What is going on with Dillian Whyte, eh? The body snatcher, failing for PEDs for a 3rd time in pro ranks, iced by Big Meech, went distance with Dave the White Rhino Allen, stinker with Ian Lewinson. Life and deaths with Derek Chisora and Parker. Rocked by Elenius. Beat a fat mess Brown, pub doorman, pushing 40-year-old who only had gloves on 8 year. Life and deaths with just about anybody who were a 50-50 fight. Failed a dope test. Changed gloves on 24 hours notice, then a life and death with Rivers. Turned up a fat mess versus Back. And went the distance, iced by Povetkin. Dragged Povetkin out the COVID ward, iced by Fury. 1,000 days, WBC. Mandatory or so he thought. And a life and death with Franklin. Before failing another test. But somehow has managed to headline 7 pay-per-views in the UK. Oh my God, you could not make this up. So Dillian Whyte, pound for pound on Porky's Corner for August 2023. Helmets of the month. Take a bow. Dillian Whyte, the can't man. Take a bow while you're hiding in Portugal. Eh? Go on lad, get your send gone. In at number 9 on Porky's Corner, helmets of the month for August 2023. Lock up your daughters. Lock up your granddaughters. Your niece and your mother-in-law. It's the Gad!
Pay-per-view, which is good. I mean, I said this to your colleague Pugsy earlier on.
You've changed his name.
Joe Pugh. Why, what was he before?
Well, you used to call him something else before.
What did I used to call him? I can't remember. Porky. Yeah. Well, as I said, he's got the same build as Andy Ruiz, but slimmed down Andy Ruiz.
Oh, Gareth A. Davis. He's always there or thereabouts, isn't he? Still sniffing around boxing and painting his toenails black with his blue tinted glasses, leather waistcoat, turning up to IFL live on a rented Harley bike, has his own official website and a page which is headed Body of Work, opening line, a respected and resonant voice in the fight sports in print, radio and television. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey? And now he's running around saying Chris Eubanks back to his world-class best. Chris Eubanks beaten DeGale, Abraham and Beefy Smith. That's it. And all of them were dug up. So, Gareth A. Davis, aka the Gad. Take a bow, lad, take a bow. Porky's Corner, August 2023. Helmet number 9. Pound for pound. In at number 8 on Porky's Corner for August 2023. It's Adrian Mowell, aka Ben Shalom, the boxer promoter and exclusive deal with Sky Sports. The man just does not know what he's doing.
Well, I'm sorry if I'm a disappointment to you.
Ben Shalom, absolutely embarrassing himself and being played like continually, failing to get his fighters title shots. Couldn't get Taylor Catterall 2 over the line. I mean, how many world title shots has he delivered for his male fighters since having the Sky contract? Catterall was mandatory, so I believe. The grand total is 1, which was Billam Smith or Coley, which was an in-house production anyway. But he's served us up Beefy and Eubank, which were utter tripe twice on pay-per-view. That's about it, innit? And broke Hearn. And now they're talking about other pay-per-views and gimmicky fights. What is going on with this man? He's been let loose in a sweet shop like Roland Browning off Grange Hill. And he just can't decide what he wants to do, so in end he's just done nothing. Has he? Really? Nothing at all. So Ben Shalom, number 8 on Porky's Corner. Helmets of the month, August 2023. Take a bow, Ben. Take a bow. In at number 7 on Porky's Corner for August 2023. It's Judge Jordan, aka Simon Jordan. He's got an opinion on everything boxing, but the man don't know what he's talking about 95% of the time. He's a casual trying to break into the hardcore market. He's not studied the game. It'd be like me trying to tell him about football, wouldn't it? Or running a phone company. I don't know what I were doing, would I? Simon Jordan, you've had the votes. Number 7 on Porky's Corner, helmets of the month for August. Get ready. So Simon Jordan, you're not really a boxing pick, are you? But come on, you. But you've got to be able to account over the Eddie Hills situation. For those of you who don't know what Eddie Hills is, he's a 6-0 Iceman from Billericay, 4 by way of.
Shalom, motherfuckers!
Masquerading as a boxing promoter, but you know, you tried to hold Eddie to account and he flogged you 2-0, 2 by way of, on TalkSport. We look forward to the 3rd one. But you could have pressed him more on his previous form over the years. You know, instead of just the Ben situation, but to only disagree on like the Conor Ben carry on. So in bad taste in my eyes. Why don't you ask him about Lee Purdy in the sauna before his fight with Devon Alexander, or throwing Kell Brook in with Triple G, a killer middleweight in with a welterweight, or Paul Smith in with Andre Ward, you know, Gavin Rees in with Broner, you know, wheeling out Chisora time and time again. The guy can't even speak, he sounds like Scooby-Doo. Crawler in with Lomachenko, what were all that about? Fielding in with Canelo. There's more damaging for boxing than any other stuff, you know, like trying to sell a fight in Fight Week, you know, on ITV, and knowing there's been drug tests. Yeah, but you're becoming like an airborne repeater. You know, you're going to have to come at Eddie Hills away a bit more than that, but you're not doing your homework. Do you know what I mean? You're not doing your homework. So Simon Jordan, take a bow, lad. Porky's Corner, number 7 for August 2023. Take a bow. In at number 6, it's part of the bench. Spencer Juggiers Oliver. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere, isn't he? Every time I turn on my telly, I've got Juggiers there. The man who told Anthony Joshua that he boxed rings round Alexander Usyk when experts gave him 2 rounds and a share of 1 round. Now, according to Juggiers, he boxed his ears off at first 10 rounds. It's not that though, is it, Juggiers? It's your constant licking constant licking on TalkSport and agreeing, especially with anything Queensbury. It's a bit embarrassing. You're supposed to be neutral. It's just you've become like a bit of a joke figure now, and you're just taking the money, aren't you? Well, I've got a good salary here, I'm alright, I'm not going to rock the boat. What is all that about? I thought you boys on the bench there were supposed to be doing the business. You, the Gad, and Judge Jordan, you've just become bricktop lickers. It's embarrassing. So Juggiers, Spencer Oliver, take a bow, lad, on Porky's Corner, number 6 for August 2023. Take a bow. Woo, woo, woo. Juggiers. In at number 5, it's Ebony Bridges for August 2023. Ebony Bridges, what can we say about this woman here? Hey? Hanging on to Conor McGregor's coattails for a bit of PR. Parading as a world champion not fought for 12 months and hanging about boxing like a bad smell. Couldn't hold a candle to the likes of Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron, you know, Terry Harper, Savannah Marshall, Natasha Jonas. Couldn't hold a candle to them. And she discounts all the work they do by just carrying off like a little slag. What is all that about? Hey, what is all that about? Treating people like dirt, refusing selfies and autographs, and just generally being a little whore. I think it's embarrassing for sport, bragging off about filth, pure filth on social media and what she sells, items of clothing she sells. It's disgusting. We don't want to see stuff like that. Get back to Oz, you little scrubber. So Ebony Bridges, number 5 on Porky's Corner for August 2023. Take a bow, old mucky knickers. Take a bow. In at number 4, it's Coogs for August 2023. Look at these two, it's like Green Mile. So Coogan, in at number 4, IFL Live, a red carpet event. Do me a favour, what is all that? Oh, hosting the 2 Johnny Fishers reeling off their Chinese order.
Smash them down. Come on, John. Give me 5 for it.
What? Who's on what? Who's on what? Johnny's on 5, you're on 3.
No, are you no allowed 3?
What? You can have a drink, come on.
Go on then. My money's on Big John.
Is this boxing in 2023? Oh my god. What's happened to the small hall scene? Hey? Giving novices a platform, Coogan. What's all that about? You're taking out of boxing now and not giving nothing back. Plus the fact the promotional poster featured Joshua, White, Bellew, Hayes, Sonny Edwards, Billy Joe. None of them turned up. So you have missold the product, therefore refunds should be issued. It's like turning up to the Joshua fight on a Saturday and Eddie announces, sorry, neither Joshua or Relenius can make it tonight. You would want your money back, wouldn't you? Hey, that's how I look at it. But don't worry, we're going to put Johnny Fisher and his son on and they're going to tell us which is best. Egg Foo Young and Fwy Weiss in Essex. What a proper joke, eh? What a joke. So Coogan Cassius, helmets of the month, August 2023. Take a bow, lad. Take a bow. In at number 3. He's had the votes for August 2023. Helmets of the month, Porky's Corner. It's Tony! He's always there or thereabouts, isn't he? Tony Bellew, the disappearing man, now the reappearing man. Hey? What's Tony been up to this month? Well, Tony's claiming that Joshua, Anthony Joshua that is, aka Big Meech, is purposely not pulling the trigger versus Elenius. Well, he said this on his commentary for DAZN, aka Dead Zone. Joshua's pulling his punches. What on earth is all that about, and wants to get the rounds in? Straight away Andy Lee pulled him up and he completely changed his narrative then. But all this work in progress stuff, it's wearing a bit thin now. Joshua's 34 in a couple of weeks, right? 34-year-old. You know, he's a World Championship silver, Olympic gold, 2-time unified heavyweight champion at World. But Tony, that's embarrassing what you come out with there. You're just embarrassing. We told you ages ago to stay away from matchroom shows when you were carrying off next at ring at the Usyk Chisora carry on. Do you know what I mean? Poor Usyk has not been able to celebrate a win over a matchroom fighter, has he? Yet we are people stealing limelight. We had Tony stealing limelight in his retirement in the Usyk loss. We had Tony spoiling the Chisora loss against Usyk. And we know Tony's opinion on both Joshua fights, don't we? And this Daniel Dubois one, it's all about Tony. But what can you do? But another thing I'm not happy about with Tony Bellew this month, total silence. Total silence on Boom Gardner and Dillian Whyte. What you got to say about that, Tony? You've plenty to say about everything else. So Tony Bellew in the bronze medal position for August 2023 on Porky's Corner. While I'm wet through off all this dew, 6 o'clock in the morning. Take a bow, lah. Take a bow. You know you're full of it, don't you, Tom? If I don't pull you up on it, nobody else will. Pop, pop, bang on that one. In at number 2 in the silver medal position, it's Big Meech, aka Anthony Joshua. Let's see what Anthony's been up to this month. Well, Big Meech has been carrying the heavyweight division on his back. That's what he's telling everybody. Carrying it on his back. What is all that about?
My back. My back's, is there a doctor in here? My back's gone.
Your back is okay.
I'm about to carry this heavyweight division to the top.
He's got 3 stoppages in his last 9 fights, and they've all been against men nearly 40-year-old, pushing 40. He turned down 80 million for a 2-fight deal to fight for the undisputed fight. Remember, all roads lead to undisputed. Anthony Joshua's words, which they based his career around when he turned pro. The other words they based it around were, be humble, stay hungry, and all roads to undisputed. Well, 80 million against Wilder in a 2-fight deal for undisputed. That wasn't good enough for Big Meech though, was it? He turned down Fury in December last year. His marquee win is Fury's leftovers. And that's Vladimir, and that were a life and death. The mask has slipped, and all the yes men around him know it, but nobody dare say anything for fear of being on the outside looking in. Totally embarrassing, totally embarrassing. We all know about what shops he were telling us to buy stuff from, and what was said to Eddie Chambers in the direct messages and stuff like that. We all know what this man is, don't we? He's a sullen bully, a flat track bully as well. So when you put it on him, he crumbles. And that's basically it, really. He's just a crybaby. He's just a crybaby. That's all he is, just a crybaby. So Anthony Joshua, silver medal on Porky's Corner for August 2023. Take a bow, lad. Take a bow, aka Big Meech.
Porky's Corner, a really quick tip. Number one, basic rules of footwork. Anybody who just does a bit of messing about in the garage, in the gym, wants to learn basic footwork in boxing, I'm going to do you a very, very simple breakdown of how to basically move in boxing. First of all, we step in boxing, we don't walk, okay? So assuming that you're orthodox, like 90% of the people are, obviously you do the 45 degrees, you get a gap between your feet. Amateur coaches always tell you to stand on tram lines, so you've got one foot on one line and one foot on the other, so you've always got a gap between your feet. Ignore the hands, I'm not going to do the hands, okay? Feet roughly pointing, not in the direction that you're going, but slightly off, so I always call it 10 past 1. So I have my front foot about 1 o'clock on a clock face, my back foot about number 2, ever so slightly like that, but everybody's different before somebody pulls me up on it, okay? You start with a basic, then you bring in your own style based on your height, your reach, everything else, okay? What you notice about me now is I've got my heel off the floor all the time. Too many fighters stand flat-footed. So even when you're stationary, you still should rock onto your heels like I'm doing there, okay? Right, basic footwork, basic movement. The foot closest to the direction that you're going in is the foot that moves first. That's the golden rule, okay? So as I've said in boxing, we step, we don't walk. If you walk, you cross your feet, don't you? It's a natural thing to walk. We step, we don't walk. Feet just wider than shoulder width as a basic rule. 10 past 1, okay? Shoulder pointing, but don't worry about the hands for now. And take a tiny little step forward and then bring the back foot there. You see that? I'm going to go backwards. Remember the rule, whichever foot is closest to where I want to be. If I'm going to move backwards, a little step backwards. A rule that sometimes gets broken, even by the world's elite fighters, is bringing one foot to the other. But if you think about the dangers of that, if I bring one foot to the other, I can get caught off balance. How many times do we see fighters going over when they bring one foot there and they get pushed with momentum? Happens all the time, okay? So you never ever bring the feet together. There's only one exception to that, but that's slightly more advanced, and I'll talk about that another day if you find these useful, okay? So if I want to step left, little step left, left foot, right foot. If I want to go right, right, left, I can go in diagonals. You can see what we're doing now. I'm always extending and never bringing back. Always extending, never bringing back. Golden rules of footwork, yeah? Very, very simple. Always point the shoulder. That's a little bit more advanced, but you've always got to have an angle here all the time. Point the shoulder, okay? So step in, step out, step in, step out, step in, step out, step across, okay? Basic. I've always got the distance there. If I turn side on, you can see I've got a nice gap between my feet and what some coaches call the elbow, knee and foot sequence, whereas the elbow, the knee and the foot is aligned to each other, okay? The elbow, the knee and the foot, back line, the elbow, knee and the foot. Right, these are just basic principles of what to build a foundation on, and eventually you break this and find your own space and your own thing that works for you. But these are the basics, okay? You can see that elbows, knees, feet lined up, gap between the feet, little steps, never walk in boxing, we step. And when you see boxers move quickly, that's what's known as a push-off. So at the moment, I'm stepping, I'm finding range, and to speed it up, I'm still stepping like that, keeping the gap most of the time. If I want to move quickly, I'll do what's called the push-off, okay? So if we're going to move backwards, push off the front foot there. See how I kept the chin down? Really important to keep the chin down. A lot of fighters, especially novices, push off and lift the chin up. What I always prefer to say, and fighters who I've worked with will tell you, is the best way to do a push-off is to do the reverse roll. A bit more advanced. I said I want to do advanced, didn't I? Yeah. The push-off is a reverse roll. Under the line, protected, reverse roll. If I want to step in quickly, I've got to have a guard to do that, I've got to be quick. Again, I can either step in or I can push in off the back foot. So you see the key differences there. Foundation, balance. We step in boxing, we don't walk. We never bring the feet together, we only ever extend, unless it's specific circumstances. And if we want to move quickly, we push off. A single move, we push off. See how I move to the left then? When I move to the left, I push off, but I did a little roll. Same principle, move backwards, roll underneath. Move to the right, roll underneath, yeah? Or at least get these up. Very, very simple. Forward, step, step, backwards, step, step, across, across, diagonals, 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 push-offs, push-offs, elbows tucked in. I'm not too concerned about the hands right now. Chin down, elbows tucked in, shoulder pointing. Real basic footwork. Thought we'd try something new. If you're not interested, no worries, but a lot of people watch boxing and they think it's easy to use these. And you go to a lot of gyms and they throw some gloves on you and tell you to hit a bag, right? You learn to box with your feet. You punch with your hands, you learn to box with your feet. Really, really basic principles all the time. Shoulder pointing, chin down, all right? Julia's 2 minutes videos are only for 10 minutes. Shoulder pointing, chin down, heel off the floor, don't put flat feet. I don't want to get in flat feet because I'll only ever get shoulder movement in the shots. If I've got bounce, pop, pop, I can get a kinetic chain off the bounce, yeah? Pum, 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 off the heel off the floor. Not like that. You see a lot of fighters throwing right hands and lifting the heel off the floor. We see Joshua do that. The heel's got to be quite close to the floor for that kinetic chain, and then it's more of a twist on the hook. That'll be another video, yeah? You got that? Feet just slightly wider than shoulder width apart, or what some coaches will do, your natural stride, stop, twist. Your natural stride, when you're walking, is generally the approximate area of a stance. Makes sense? Real basic stuff. And remember, when you're doing your little bit of shadow boxing, because I know you guys on Porky's Corner, even though the ones who haven't boxed before, we all pass the mirror and do a little bit of shadow boxing, don't we? Every single one of us. But just remember, okay, checklist. When you stood in the stance, checklist, right? Start from the ground up. Are my heels off the floor? Have I got that little bit of spring, a little bit of elasticity and movement there? Are my heels off the floor? Have I got my knees bent? Have I got my feet just outside my shoulder width? Have I got a gap? I can see a gap between my feet now. Do I have a gap between my feet? Yes. If I don't have a gap, I'm going over, okay? I've got to have a gap between my feet all the time, no matter which way I go. Are my elbows tucked in? Is my chin down? Is my shoulder pointed? Checklist, okay? That's video, a little bit more explanation there on the feet, on the movement. Very, very simple basics, not advanced, not professional level. Don't come an orthodox stance. Hope you guys enjoyed.
In the gold medal position on Porky's Corner for August 2023, we have a tie. We have a tie, eh, for the first time in a while actually. So I'll just read them out as they come then, yeah. In first place, we have a tie. Big John Fury, big fighting man, and Eddie Hills, the 6-0 Iceman from Billericay. Pair of them couldn't lie straight in bed. So let's see what they've been up to this month on Porky's Corner. Big John Fury there. He's had the votes yet again. MI5 are watching me from the moon. But I'm watching them now. I've got a telescope from Aldi, $9.99. Pop ban on that one. 200 kilo deadlifts with me Corey. Before a pan of stew on the hot fire. Be real, people, that's all I'm saying. Be real. John Fury saying he's being real this month. I've just seen an interview with him on Boxing Social, was it? And they've asked him about Daniel Dubois. Was it a low blow against Usyk? Yes or no? And he's gone, no comment. The man that don't duck questions, but we know why he's had the votes this month, don't we? Tipping over tables at a kiddies' tea party. Hey, Misfits promotion. but making out it's to sell the fight. Listen, Big John, why don't you go tell Callum Howland to stop WhatsApping people saying it were all a put-up job and you were all in on it together? Hey, what is all that about? They're winding you off at clock. You're unbelievable. You're not only embarrassing yourself and your people, you're embarrassing the sport of boxing, you clown. When people see you in company, they say, oh, that clown's here ever again, and everybody's looking for a reaction because they're all waiting for you to have a fight. Have a fight, lad, have a fight. You've been out 8 year, 1 month. Eh? 97 months out of jail, you've not thrown a punch. Pop, pop, bang. Talking about fighting and fighting men and bare knuckles and books coming out and reality TV nonsense. You've not had a fight. Your son's not fighting anybody, he's fighting a non-boxer next. You know, in 2 years since Wilder, Tyson Fury's fought Dillian Whyte, Derek Chisora in 2 years since Wilder. And that'll be it now, it'll be 2.5 years. And they might rematch Ngannou, then it could be 3 years without fighting Wilder. And Wilder wasn't much coppery really, only a one-trick pony. It's all designed to get money. That's what it's about, money. Don't preach legacy, Big John Fury. We all whoppers, you tell, you can't lie straight in bed. So Big John Fury, gold medal position, joint gold medal with Eddie Hills, your best friend really. Take a bow, Big John. Take a bow. Porky's Corner, August 2023. You love it, Big John. You love it. Pop, pop, bang. Let's see what Eddie's been up to this month, eh, on Porky's Corner. Because he's a gold medal winner. Joint with Big John Fury. Let's have a look at the Billy Ricky Iceman. Mr. Relentless, Eddie Hills.
I did my hand on this the other day.
Well, you gotta have a couple of goals, bro.
Yeah, a couple of goals.
You can't just land on one.
Oh! Any good? Right, one more. Who got 995? That was me. One more. Eddie, Leonard Ellerby. Leonard Ellerby?
Yeah.
What?
Frank Warren got 1,000.
Who's this one? Ellerby. I don't say things like that. I'll just do a little half one.
Ooh! 10 seconds, Dodge. Show me the fish there.
Radio 1 DJ, podcaster, a golf agent, amateur snooker player, opening bat for Essex, opening bowler for Essex, under 19s, double glazing salesman, head of darts, head of snooker, head of ping pong. In fact, he's a ping pong pioneer, cameraman, model, boxing promoter, author, public speaker, part-time five-a-side footballer. What can this man not do? Well, he can't keep a woman, can he? That's one thing. decides to throw Dillian Whyte under the bus, but fought Ben's corner and tried to get the fight on. Is this because one is washed and in his late 30s and the other is in their 20s, and you're only cash cow left now that Big Meech has finished? Probably. Blackballed in America, nobody wants to work with him. Canelo had to go to PBC for his 2 biggest fights of the last 4 years in Plant and Charlo. And that show Saturday were tragic. Chief support at 10:20 on a Saturday night, Chisora versus Washington. What were all that about, eh? That show of the Saturday. Dead Zone's biggest UK card of the year so far. Combined age of 81 and 5 months and 18 losses. All-time record of helmet votes. Landslide victory for Eddie Hills and Big John Fury this month. The biggest votes we've ever had. I suppose, really, when you think about it though, we were going to get that, weren't we, really, with Big John flipping tables and Eddie there, the double agent, and doing drug tests and all results going to them, allegedly. It's all a bit, I don't know, it's a bit soap opera-ish, isn't it, really? So Eddie Hills, along with Big John Fury, take a bow, chaps. Helmets of the month winners. Gold medal winners on Porky's Corner for August 2023. Oh my God. Pop, pop, bang. Peace out. Hashtag game changed. Well, there you have it. August helmets of the month on Porky's Corner for 2023. Hope you enjoyed it. These are grown men, by the way, grown men. And I always say this before, and I'll say it again. If they want to carry off behaving like this in the sport of boxing that I love and have dedicated my life to, well, let me tell you this. When the ice breaks, I'm going to be waiting. So, keep the gags coming. Keep behaving like you're behaving, because, like I said, you're supposed to be grown men. It makes my job a lot easier. Get your votes in for September, porkycorner@mail.com. It's no good crying in comment section, oh so-and-so and so-and-so should have been an helmet this month. Listen, I just say this to these people who complain. Did you vote? Well, if not, you should do. porkycorner@mail.com for September's helmets. Get your votes in. Everybody have a great week, what's left of it. Peace out.
Russell, everybody on Porky's Corner. Just a little bit of history for you now. I'm just at the bottom of West Town in Dewsbury. Been out on a bike ride. Always drive or ride past this place. Gives me a twinge of nostalgia. So we're just at the bottom of top of Central Street, Ashworth Gardens over there, bottom of Vulcan Road, and here, which is now some kind of industrial business park, that's where Home Charm Paints Amateur Boxing Club was, which later became Dewsbury and Batley ABC. So this is where I applied my trade, where I learnt to box, age 15, 1986, and some really good fighters have come through these on this land, not through these gates, because these gates weren't here. Just shows how things change. So what used to be here was literally 2 porter cabins, like almost like old classrooms, 2 porter cabins, and the likes of James Hare. You all heard of James Hare, Steve Conway, Mark Hobson, all good fighters, all of a good level. They all box for this club. We've got some really good professional fighters who used to train here as well before those guys turned over. We had James Jora, tough journeyman, Ian Midwood-Tate, very talented fighter. Peter Brown, also known as Tony Brown, who beat Johnny Nelson in Johnny Nelson's second pro fight at the Frontier Club in Batley. Check it out if you don't believe me. We also had Charlie Watson, ex-England amateur star, knocked out Neville Brown in the amateurs in the first round, caused a massive upset. You've all heard of Neville Brown, fought Steve Collins and those guys. Well, Charlie Watson did him in one, and he went on to have a decent professional career. But all those guys were my teammates. Very fond memories here. Some of the best memories of my life. As I've said, from 1986 to 1992. This piece of land was a really special piece of land for me. Lots and lots of memories, some brilliant friends for life and some brilliant memories. Yeah, so a little bit of nostalgia for you. Again, this is now, as I've said, it's a business park, a small business park, but right here, right where this bottom building is, that's where we had 2 porter cabins. We had it tough. The top porter cabin was actually shut down after a while because it used to get broke into, and lots of heroin addicts used to go in there and shoot up and do all kind of unpleasant things in there. So we ended up just using the bottom porter cabins. What I'll never forget when I first started learning to box was the hill sprints. So here, all the way up to this hill, I don't know if it shows on camera how steep it is, but we used to do hill sprints there, crazy amounts of hill sprints, and we had some really tough coaches. One of them called Tony, and if you couldn't beat Tony up here, until you could beat him, you couldn't go back in, you couldn't do your proper training, your boxing, your sparring, etc. So it's crazy how things change. It always makes me a little bit sad when you see things, but I guess it's progress. People think it's progress, but yeah. Keith Tate was a head honcho, and there was Ian Dawson, who was a great coach, Peter Cullen, who eventually went to the pros with Dale Robinson, James Eyre, Mark Hobson, Chris Aston, those guys. But really great memories for life. You can't forget these times, you can't forget these people and these places. And I think in general, Keith Tate had 31 national champions between him and Mark Tate and the rest of the coaches. And of course, of those 31 national champions, probably the most well known was Gary Sykes, who I was fortunate enough to train through his professional career. Happy days.
Hello, you hardcores out there, how are you doing? It's Russ here from Poker's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. I forgot to slip this into a video today, and I'm done for the day now, so I'm going to get Cameron to stick it in Weapon at Week or Helmets at Month, or both probably. Right, Kevin's horses, because I don't put the horses predictions and stuff like that from his stables on channel. You know, I get my wings clipped every now and then, don't I? Because I'm not an horse muck man. Right, so right, here we go. Because they had a triple last week and that weekend before, 3 horses won, didn't they? Well, this weekend's action. Friday, A-Doc. Now his horse is called Mucker. Gallop times are fantastic on that. I don't know odds and I don't know time. Saturday, Corey Glory. That's at Thirsk. And Sunday, Freedom Day at York. So Mucker at A-Doc Friday, Corey Glory Saturday at Thirsk, Freedom Day at York on Sunday. Alright, pop pop bang. Happy betting, but I don't gamble, so don't cry to me if you lose your money. Porky's Corner is proud to be sponsored by Spartan Site Solutions. They are specialists in civil engineering and demolition contracts for the construction industry. Interested parties should visit their website or contact Porky's Corner for a referral at porkycorner@mail.com.